Welcome to Nightmare Shadows for creepy, terrifying stories. Story number 1. The Haunting at Hollow Acres, a true tale of terror. On a foggy October evening in rural Tennessee, a group of siblings and cousins gathered for a weekend at their grandmother's dilapidated farmhouse. Among them was Emily, a 15-year-old known for her fearless curiosity, and her younger cousin Joey, an adventurous 12-year-old. Hollow Acres had been in the family for generations, but had been abandoned for years. The kids decided to play hide-and-seek, convinced it would be more thrilling in the eerie, decrepit home nearby. Emily, always one to prove her bravery, chose to hide in an old pantry in the kitchen of the abandoned farmhouse. The musty smell and creaking wood added an unnerving ambiance, but she shrugged it off. As the muffled voices of her cousins faded, she settled into the dark corner and waited. The pantry door shut firmly behind her. She glanced at her watch. 8:13 p.m., time dragged on. Emily heard no footsteps, no laughter, only silence. Her eyelids grew heavy, and before she realized it, she had dozed off. She awoke abruptly to a faint noise. It was a rhythmic tapping sound, slow and deliberate, echoing faintly through the empty house. Checking her watch again, she saw that it was now past 10 p.m. She had been asleep for nearly 2 hours. Her heart began to pound as she realized the game had long ended. She pushed the pantry door slightly open, peering into the pitch-black kitchen. The moonlight streaming through a broken window cast eerie shadows on the walls. "Joey?" she called out softly, but there was no response. The tapping sound grew louder, and it was coming from upstairs. A chill ran down her spine. She debated waiting it out, but decided she needed to leave. Carefully stepping out of the pantry, Emily froze as a new sound joined the tapping. Slow, deliberate footsteps descending the staircase. The floorboards creaked under the weight of something heavy. Emily's breathing quickened, and she ducked under the kitchen table, praying whatever it was wouldn't see her. The steps stopped abruptly, just as she thought she heard faint, raspy breathing coming from the doorway. Her instincts screamed at her to run. She bolted out from under the table, heading for the back door. The sudden movement triggered an unearthly shriek, filling the house with a sound so chilling it echoed in her skull. She didn't look back as she burst into the backyard, tripping over roots and loose stones. She collapsed on the grass, gasping for air, as her cousins came running from the main house. "Where were you?" Joey asked, wide-eyed. "We looked everywhere." Emily tried to explain, but her words tumbled out incoherently. She glanced back at the farmhouse. In the upper window, a faint silhouette stood motionless, watching them. No one ventured near Hollow Acres again, but locals whisper that the house has its own stories to tell. Tales of shadows and shrieks that no one dares to explain. The haunting memory still lingers with Emily to this day, a reminder of the terrifying secrets some places keep hidden in plain sight. Story number 2. Vanished in the Shadows, the chilling mystery of the forgotten manor. In the quiet town of Willow Creek, a crumbling old manor sat at the edge of the woods, its dark windows staring out like hollow eyes. The manor had long been abandoned, earning it a reputation as a local legend. To most, it was a place of superstition and ghost stories. To a group of thrill-seeking teens, it was the perfect playground for a late-night game of manhunt. That October evening, Megan, Trevor, Carlos, and Lily decided to test their courage. The rules were simple. One person would be it, while the rest hid anywhere inside the manor. Megan volunteered to be the seeker, leaving the others to scatter into the house. Carlos, the boldest of the group, decided to hide in the basement, a place the others avoided because of its dank, oppressive air. Lily tucked herself behind an ancient wardrobe on the second floor, while Trevor slipped into a corner of the dusty attic. Megan began her countdown in the foyer, her flashlight flickering weakly in the stale darkness. Minutes turned into an hour, and Megan had found Trevor and Lily both grinning and exhilarated. Carlos, however, remained missing. His disappearance was unsettling. He was the type to jump out and scare everyone for laughs. "Carlos, come on, game's over!" Megan called out, her voice echoing eerily. As the trio descended into the basement to find him, a sense of unease settled over them. The air was thick and cold, carrying a faint metallic smell. Their flashlights revealed nothing but old crates and cobweb-covered beams. Then, from the corner of the room, they heard a soft, rhythmic tapping. Lily gasped and clutched Trevor's arm as they turned toward the sound. There, sitting on an overturned crate, was Carlos. His face was pale, and his wide eyes stared blankly at the wall. "Carlos, what the hell are you doing down here?" Megan asked, trying to mask her fear with irritation. "I didn't go anywhere," he said flatly, not looking at them. "I've been right here the whole time." His voice was distant, almost mechanical, sending chills through the group. Megan moved closer, shining her flashlight on him. That's when she noticed his shoes were damp and covered in mud, though the basement floor was dry. Trevor's voice wavered as he asked, "How did you get mud on your shoes?" Carlos blinked slowly, as if waking from a trance. "I don't remember." A handprint smeared in the dust on the wall. It was larger than any of theirs, and the fingers were unnaturally long. Outside, they questioned Carlos again, but his memory was hazy. The group swore never to speak of the incident again, but whispers of the forgotten manor spread like wildfire through Willow Creek. To this day, locals' shadows move in the windows at night, and those who dare to enter often leave with stories of things remains. What really happened to Carlos in the basement? And was he ever truly alone? Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below.